Tuesday marked the official opening of the association's first full day of exhibitions and a preview of the site for the presidential reception on Wednesday. Those stories and more coming up next on Convention News Television.
Diagnostics in 2386 AD.
What is your problem?
Pain.
Lift your polymer sheet and indicate area of pain. There's a lot of that going around. Enter your social security number, World Health Code, HMO election, your DRG cap, and take your shirt button out of my eye. Hold your breath. I am processing. I have processed. Your diagnosis is acute gastricolonic hypersomatization complicated by ethanol. I will cure you.
Gee, thanks.
Have a nice day.
Well, maybe that's the humorous state of the future. But the state-of-the-art of today's diagnostics is here at Hoffman LaRoche. 7 decades of worldwide effort by this research-driven company have created a world class of excellence. Pharmaceutical products, vitamins and nutritionals, animal health products, fine chemicals, the standards. And today, when technology, change, and cost containment are the watchwords, we find Roche Diagnostic Systems on the leading edge. Instruments, reagents, technical support. Cost-effective systems which continue to lead the way. Come see us at the Roche Diagnostics booth. See the leading edge in cancer detection, CEA Roche, the original and still the standard. The leading edge in drug of abuse screening, AbuScreen. The leading edge in therapeutic drug monitoring, Cobas Bio FP. Then see Cobas Mira, the chemistry analyzer. It is unquestionably at the far leading edge of the industry. And you can win one for your institution just by visiting our booth. Look for this sign.
I am waiting for you.
CNNTV presents the American Association for Clinical Chemistry and the Canadian Society of Clinical Chemists Convention News. Brought to you by Roche Diagnostic Systems, Technicon Instruments Corporation, the DuPont Company, and by Beckman Instruments Incorporated.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our second day's coverage of this joint meeting of the American Association for Clinical Chemistry and the Canadian Society for Clinical Chemists here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Kurt Anderson for Convention News Television. Tuesday, the first full day of the summer's 86 meeting, hundreds of more participants were registered, pushing registration figures well towards the 11,000 mark expected. You can find as many different kinds of people here as there are exhibitions on the showroom floor, some coming from as far away as Greece and Japan. Mr. Yoshino, where are you from?
We are coming from the Japan, over the ocean here.
You flew here from Japan?
Right?
How long a flight was that?
No.
You know, how many hours flying time was it?
Sometime?
Yeah.
For to 9 hours to the, over the ocean, and more than 6 hours to the cross the continents. Yeah.
How do you like Chicago as a convention site?
Yes, very beautiful and very big convention center that you have.
What did you do last night?
Last night?
Yeah.
We are meeting the, what do we say, last night?
No parties? No, no geisha girls?
No.
I see, where are you from?
I'm from Newton, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston.
Okay, so you had about a good 3-hour plane ride to get here?
Yes, that's right. It was pleasant.
How do you feel about Chicago as this year's site?
I think Chicago's an exciting town. I was excited about all the restaurants, and I've also visited the Hancock Tower, and that was exciting. And I've been to other cities, New Orleans and San Francisco, and I think this is a good addition to my conventioning towns.
How do you like this year's site, Chicago?
It's great. Great. Very good.
You're from Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yes, that's right.
And you've had a chance to get out and see some of the nightlife here?
That's right.
Any different from in Lincoln?
Oh, quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit.
What'd you do last night?
Went to a play called Sure Madness.
Rosette, where are you from?
I'm from Mountain View, California.
Okay, and so you've had a little bit of a plane ride to get here. How do you like Chicago as a site for this year's association meeting?
It's a pretty nice city. I like it a lot.
What'd you do last night?
Went to a Thai restaurant.
Now, you gentlemen are from where?
From Greece.
From Greece.
From Greece. And what's your name?
My name is Kyriakos Pispirigos.
Good Greek name.
Orestes Tsolas.
How do you guys like Chicago as a site for this year's convention?
Well, Chicago seems to be a nice city, you know. This is the second time that I'm here, and I enjoy this committee for clinical chemistry.
I love Chicago. It's my third time, and every time I've had a very good time here.
Is there a large Greek community here in Chicago?
I think so, yes. It's one of the largest.
Have you been to a Greek restaurant, or have you been trying just about everything?
No, I've been trying to avoid Greek restaurants. You don't come to Chicago to eat Greek food.
What is your name?
Kotil, Prabhakar Kotil.
Okay, and Mr. I imagine you're from out of town?
No, I am from Chicago.
I'm sorry, you're from Chicago.
From Chicago,
How long have you
yes.
lived here?
About 4 years.
Okay. So you like, obviously, Chicago as a site for this year's convention. You don't have to go too far?
It's a great city. I really enjoyed it, yes.
Okay.
This is one of the best meetings that I've been to in the last 4 years.
Mr. Goldberg, welcome to this year's association show. Where are you from?
I'm from Skokie.
Skokie, Illinois?
Skokie, Illinois.
Right off of Dempster Avenue somewhere? Or?
In the capital of Illinois, yes.
How do you like having the association meeting so close to home?
Well, I think it's great. I think Chicago is one of the best cities in the United States to have anything. And McCormick Place just shows you that.
You're a Cubs or a White Sox fan?
Cubs, all north side.
How do you like Chicago as a site for this year's association meeting?
I've always found Chicago a good site for the meeting because it draws people from the east and the west coast and also from Canada.
So it's like a mecca for the medical community, I guess?
Yes, it's a good midway point.
And your name?
Teresa Wong.
Teresa, where are you from?
You mean original from, or I am where I live? I live from Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay, so you had a nice little flight to get here. How do you like Chicago for a site for the association meeting?
I think I love it. It's beautiful.
Oh, really?
That shore is really, I think I'm on Caribbean vacation.
Oh, yeah? Well, have you been out into the water yet, or what have you been doing?
I've been looking out a window.
Well, you ought to get your work taken care of and try to enjoy some of this beautiful weather and beautiful scenery that we have.
Definitely. I combine work with pleasure.
You know, one of the first things you'll see as you walk into the main exhibition hall is the new products exhibit. Now, it's an exhibit that's not only interesting to most of the participants, but it's also one that will save them time.
New Product Row was conceived about 10 years ago as a means to inform the membership of the new products that are on the floor. So those that are in a hurry can go directly to the booths in which they're interested in seeing the new products. It is one of the main attractions, yes. The information you see up here on the posters also appears in the July issue of Clinical Chemistry News. So it provides a means to get excellent exposure for new products to the people attending the meetings on behalf of the exhibitors.
How do you choose which products to put up here?
They're submitted by form, they're reviewed, and then they're accepted for inclusion in New Product Row.
And we'll be back with the father of clinical chemistry, immortalized on a T-shirt. Stay tuned.
The process of evolution requires gradual change for the better. That change is crafted by imagination and the design of the right tool for the task. At first primitive, then more advanced. Medical technology advances by the same process. And at Beckman, we embrace the spirit of evolution by design. Gradual change for the better. And we invite you to share our view, a new view. Since the beginning, we listened. We responded. We anticipated. We planned and continue to plan. Because at Beckman, we take your view seriously.
Well, right up front in aisle 600, you'll see the association's show booth, as they call it. It's the first time that you can get association souvenirs as well as immediate access to important association publications.
It's a great opportunity for members and non-members alike to purchase the kinds of products that we offer. In fact, this year we've got 7 new books. We've got, for the first time in several years, T-shirts, visors.
T-shirts, how much are they, by the way?
The T-shirts are $8 for the Otto Folin T-shirts. Now, these are Otto Folin T-shirts, of course, the father of clinical chemistry. We have the tried and true TDM T-shirts and Endo T-shirts, which we have sold in the past, and they're on sale for $10.
Now, if they mention,
visors are $6.50.
If they mention your name, how much?
Well, if they mention my name, we'll let them in the booth to buy the thing. We also have, as I mentioned before, 7 new books. In fact, we've got 2 that are literally hot off the press. In fact, there will be delivered via Federal Express later tonight, Cost-Effective Quality Control by James Westgard. We think a very good book, a very popular book, and it will be available here for $40 for non-members and $30 for members.
What are some of the other things that folks here can take advantage of at the AACC booth?
Well, some things they can take advantage of is they can, if they are not receiving Clinical Chemistry News, the news magazine for clinical chemistry, they can fill out a subscription request card here, and they will begin receiving a copy of CCN each month. One thing that we would like to encourage particularly members to do this year is to donate some money to the Research and Endowment Fund.
Okay, well, this sounds like the place to come, and
yes, we're very excited about this meeting. We have a lot to offer people. We hope to see people here. We want the members to come by and talk to us, and particularly to tell us how they enjoy our products, and to also to make a purchase of one of the newer products. This is a good opportunity to buy the book, walk away with it. They don't have to wait the 6 weeks for it to come through the mail. We have a sale on all pre-1986 books, a sale of 20% discount.
So mention your name and they get a 20% discount on the sale of the books.
That's right,
okay,
yes.
Great. Miller's donation, of course, will be forwarded to the association's Research and Endowment Fund. We had the chance yesterday to talk with the chairman of that fund, Dr. Arthur Levy.
It's the Research Grant and Endowment Committee of the association, and its purpose is to raise monies to support research that members and others in clinical chemistry may be doing, and for which they want, for which a small amount of support that we can give them will be of some value to the furthering the progress of their research work. Mm-hmm. It's to supplement the fact that research monies have diminished considerably. Also, clinical chemistry has not been a major recipient of funds from NIH and cancer institutes, things of that sort, because those are more, those go to support more spectacular efforts in research.
If someone were interested in getting a grant, how would they go about it?
Well, the thing would be to get in touch with Mr. Lenny Miller, who is our liaison at the national office of the AACC in Washington. Mm-hmm. The address is in any journal in mm-hmm. clinical chemistry and so on. He has all there are descriptive brochures, application forms indicating what must be done in order to apply for the grant.
How does the fund stand now?
Well, the fund, we are restricted to only using the interest on our endowment. And that is just about enough. Now that interest rates have gone down somewhat, that's just about enough for supporting one grant per year. The grants run around $2,500. So we are in the midst of trying to work up solicitation approaches to vendors, instrument makers, diagnostic reagent producers, as well as our own membership from one source or another. We get a retirement, one of our chemists is retiring, he gives the proceeds of the banquet to the fund. Mm-hmm. At the booth here, we're holding a raffle of 2 airplane tickets, and we've done that practically every year. So it's efforts of that sort for raising the money. And we do get contributions from the membership. There is a place on the dues list. There will be a place on the registration for the AACC meeting next year, and we are planning a program of going around from one section to all the sections of the associations around the country for getting the membership to support this activity.
Okay. And that was Dr. Arthur Levy, chairman of the Research and Endowment Fund. We'll be back with Trivial Pursuit, clinical chemistry style. Stay tuned.
We're speaking with Mr. Steve Wasserman, the Vice President of Marketing for Technicon Instruments Corporation. And Mr. Wasserman, can you tell us about the new products at the Technicon exhibit this year?
I'll be glad to. But first I should point out that we have booths in 3 areas. One is here in the spot exhibit, booth S22, where we are showing the Technicon RA500, which is a random access chemistry system for physician or group practice offices which can produce results while the patient is still in the office. Technicon Diagnostics has a separate booth, number 847, where we feature Technicon reagents for non-Technicon instruments such as the Astra, Cobas Bio, Gemini, and Hitachi 705. And last, but certainly not least, is the main Technicon booth where our new chemistry and hematology systems are being demonstrated. The RAXT system is being shown for the first time at this year's AACC meeting. Come into the booth for a demonstration to see how easy it is to use the RAXT. The Chem1 capsule chemistry system is designed with new technology, added flexibility, and unmatched simplicity. And for high-volume chemistry testing, the Technicon SRA 2000 will give you increased productivity and the lowest cost of operation. The Technicon H1 system has made quite an impact on the market. The H1 is the only system that can do a CBC plus a 5-part differential. This year, Technicon is showing products for laboratories of all sizes and with varied interests. Come in and see what we have in all 3 Technicon booths.
You know, the spot market means one thing to gasoline station owners, but it means something quite different to clinical chemists. Well, we talk with Association General Manager Scott Hunt about how satellite physician office testing can be used to the clinical chemist advantage.
Well, the members of our association have traditionally performed these tests in clinical laboratory situations. Many of the tests are now becoming miniaturized. The quality control needs have changed for the physicians doing the tests, and our members are able to offer them the experience that they've had and the expertise that they bring to the situation to assist in performing the best quality of laboratory testing, even in this new setting in the physician's office.
Yeah, I have heard at other associations that doctors do get a little nervous when they have to do these new kinds of tests in the office, and they want to make sure that they have that expertise.
It's an appropriate concern. While much of the instrumentation is designed to be foolproof, there are problems with any mechanical device. They have to be calibrated, appropriate quality controls have to be run. Those can best be done with the counsel of a qualified chemist or qualified medical technologist who knows some of the concerns that are associated with being certain that you can perform the same test repeatedly and accurately.
Now, the trend towards patients coming into doctor's office and being tested, that trend is expected to grow?
The long-term growth is likely to develop slowly. It was expected to be very fast. Government regulations may change the reimbursement policies for physicians, and that has tended to slow the growth. However, many issues appeal directly to physicians. They're now able to make their patients happier by doing the tests more rapidly, right there while they wait. It's more convenient for the patient. Physicians are competing more for a share of the market, the physician market, and they find themselves needing an edge over other physicians. And the fact that they can perform these additional services for patients helps a great deal in motivating them to buy the equipment. The financial concern, which is strong now, may not in the long run materialize.
You know, those of you who are clinical chemists as well as Trivial Pursuit buffs probably stand the best chance to win a digital compact disc player that's being offered as a prize. Lane Weekly of the association tells us how and why.
Well, they want to play Management Pursuits, and this is a game that's taken right from our series called Tools for Survival, which is a clinical laboratory management course. And we have a card each day that has 5 questions on it. They have to answer 3 out of the 5, and the questions are taken directly from the course book, part of the series. So we even cite the answers, so it's easy to play. And the last question is Chicago trivia, and so everybody should be able to answer that one.
What happens if you get 3 out of 5?
Then you get 1 chance to win a compact disc player. So we're playing the game for all 3 days the exhibits are open, and the drawing will be Thursday at 2.
And the person will actually win a compact disc player right then and there?
Yeah, I hope so, because I don't want to have to take it back on the plane with me.
And what's the, okay, obviously this is to get people interested in what's going on.
Right. What we would like them to do, of course, is to come and ask us about our course, Tools for Survival. What this is, it's a course that's kind of everything you wanted to know about an MBA, but we're afraid to go back to school. So it has everything about capital equipment acquisition. If your lab was going to purchase a new instrument this year, it tells you step by step everything you could possibly need to know about what kind of information you need to gather, how to decide whether leasing or purchasing is best for you, and how to sell this plan to administration. So it's a step-by-step course. Each course has a video or audio tape to introduce the key concepts, a self-study course book that has discussion questions at the end of each chapter, and a final exam, teaching slides so once you learn the information you can teach it to everyone else in your lab, and all kinds of reference materials and everything you could possibly want. And each course is $175.
Pretty inexpensive compared to the MBA.
It really is.
And you really need somebody from the association perhaps to come by and give them their diploma so they will feel complete.
Right. We were thinking of maybe making an honorary degree, but we haven't quite gotten around to that yet.
Unfortunately, I was only able to answer number 5. How long is the Magnificent Mile? I got that one right. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
The DuPont Company's Dimensions 86 Issues program began Tuesday at booth D1000 with lively discussions of the NIH's Consensus Conference on AIDS and on mandatory drug testing.
I guess is it safe to assume that there is a terrible economic impact in industry as a result of drug abuse?
Well, that's the sort of paradox with our recent attention on the sports figures that have recently died, because various studies and surveys, the most comprehensive of which the last one was done in 1983, indicates that the cost of drug use in the workplace alone is in the order of magnitude of $60 billion a year. Estimates by congressional committees in the last year or so put that figure over $70–80 billion a year.
Wednesday, DuPont will feature the following speakers at booth D1000. Jeffrey Charles Goldsmith will answer the question, can hospitals survive? And Marilyn Ferguson, author of The Aquarian Conspiracy, will talk about personal flexibility in the face of changing technology. On Thursday, DuPont sponsors Fred Long on legal issues and the clinical chemist, and Stuart Berger talks about his immune power diet. Check DuPont booth D1000 for times of its highly popular Dimensions 86 programs.
In vitro diagnostics. If you carefully surveyed the exhibition hall floor, you probably saw some of the new products. Here's Carrie Keaton with more.
Well, there are a couple of new and exciting products in the mainframe clinical chemistry area. DuPont is showing the Dimension analyzers this year. They're actually on the floor this year. And SmithKline Beckman will be showing the Synchron family of chemistry analyzers. There's also quite a bit of activity in the immunoassay area. Abbott, of course, is always providing product line extensions for their quantum series. They're going to be showing the Commander system this year. That's going to be worth watching.
Now, any of these are in response also to the increase in physician in-office testing?
No, these are not physician office products. Some of the products that will be in the Spot exhibit this year that are new are, again, another offering from SmithKline Beckman and also another offering from DuPont, the Analyst System for chemistry profiling.
Now, you're involved with the in vitro diagnostics. Exactly what will your display be showing the folks?
Well, we're going to be discussing some of the new significant commercialized products in vitro diagnostic testing area. We're also going to be talking about business performance and the size of in vitro diagnostic testing worldwide.
It has grown, apparently.
It has grown and it will continue to grow. It's currently a $5 billion market on a worldwide basis. We expect it will reach $9 billion by 1990. Clinical chemistry represents a disproportionately high amount of the total market, roughly over half now, and it will stay over half of total in vitro diagnostic testing.
You know, one of the highlights of any of these association shows is the President's reception, and this year, 1986, here in Chicago, is going to be no different. This year, they've got a grand site for the association reception. It's going to be at the Museum of Science and Industry, right down Lakeshore Drive, and we had a chance to preview it, and believe me, it is a great place to go.
Well, we picked it because it's one of Chicago's most popular attractions. Over 4 million people visit this museum every year, and we realize that with the busy schedules they have over at McCormick Place and with committee meetings, they might not have a chance to experience. So we wanted them to come here and experience this museum in their time, and why not combine it with a reception? The additional reason is that this museum is all about science and chemistry and health and nutrition, and where else to put all chemists but in a place that deals with those kinds of things.
Have you been here before?
I personally have been here, yes. Every time I come to Chicago on a planning meeting, I make it a point to be in this museum because it's a great deal of fun.
Okay, now aside from your professional opinion, what do you think of it as a tourist?
As a tourist, I love it. I'd spend hours in here if I had the time.
It's a pretty big place. Will the association have like the full run of this museum or what?
Yes, we'll have the ground floor where the U-505 submarine is. We will have this floor, and we will have the hall upstairs, which has the Nobel Laureate Hall of Science.
Now, exactly how long is the reception going to go on?
Reception will be from 7:30 to 10 on Wednesday night and is sponsored by Abbott Laboratories.
How will folks get back and forth to the reception?
We will have shuttle buses running from all the hotels over here, and the last bus will leave here at 10:30, and if you're not on it, you're going to be here for the night.
Debbie tells us also that, of course, the reception will be a little more formal than the dress that you saw some of the folks wearing in that piece. Also, there will be food displays all over the museum, and association members apparently will have the run of the entire place. Anyway, that wraps it up for our second day's coverage of the association's meeting here in Chicago, Illinois. We, of course, will be back tomorrow with more significant events. And stay tuned for our calendar of events to give you an idea as to what's going on. I'm Kurt Anderson. Have a pleasant day.
The American Association for Clinical Chemistry and the Canadian Society of Clinical Chemists Convention News has been brought to you by Roche Diagnostic Systems, Technicon Instruments Corporation, the DuPont Company, and by Beckman Instruments Incorporated. This program was produced by CNNTV.